going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the In the Round podcast. It's your boy, Matt Burrill. Shout out to Sweet Boy behind the camera. And today we have got a very special episode. Got one of my favorite ladies in town. Great person to meet up with at Red Door. A great person that we've had play the round a bunch and has some incredible merch and some little swag that she's brought in. And she has probably the coolest the coolest mug, jar, cup, I don't even know what to call it. Whatever you normally drink iced coffee out of, it's not as cool as what our friend Mae Estes is drinking her iced coffee out of. What is that, Slim Chickens? Is that the name of the thing?
Yes. So Slim Chickens is like, I don't know, a fire KFC kind of. It's a fast food like chicken chain. There's one in Hendersonville, which is where I live, so I get to have it all the time here, but it's originally from Arkansas, which is where I'm from. So kind of cool to support them in Tennessee. But their dessert comes in like a little mason jar. Which to me is just the coolest thing. They do. Well, it's fancy as hell, yeah. Clearly. But it's like a dessert parfait, and you can tell how much my fat ass has had of those because my whole cabinet is full of like at least 12 Slim Chicken jars. Well,
I think they're cool jars, and they're not like, sometimes the mason jars are like massively big. That's the perfect size for a coffee in the morning, a cocktail in the evening, you know?
Absolutely. And you get a dessert parfait in it when you buy it, and it's perfect. A 2-for-1, really. Where does
it compare to like Chick-fil-A and like Zaxby's or like Raising Cane's? Where do you put that?
That's hard.
Or is it the nostalgia of it being the hometown thing? Where you're
it's fantastic also. They have a pretty small menu like Chick-fil-A, so that's how I feel like you do it well, is you don't try to do everything. You just do what you're good at, which is what I look forward to doing with music, hopefully eventually, instead of trying to act like I can wear all of these hats that I have no business wearing.
Yeah.
But it's like made fresh to order, so that helps so much. Like, you know you're going to wait a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But I like the mac and cheese bowl.
Ooh.
So that's chicken cut up on mac and cheese, and that's, the 12-year-old that I am frozen in time as for my appetite is like just stoked about it.
Yeah, so where in Arkansas are you from?
I'm from Hope, which is almost in Texas, right outside of Texarkana.
Okay, so you're West Arkansas.
I'm Southwest Arkansas.
Southwest Arkansas.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
About 20 minutes east of Texarkana. That kind of helps people.
I have driven through there many a times in a van, in a bandwagon, ridden in a bus, going out to Texas along. That's I-20, right?
30.
I-30, okay.
Yeah, and you gotta go through my hometown to get down to Texas. So it's just a little interstate town, about 10,000 people.
Yeah, what's Hope, Arkansas like?
Well, it's the birthplace and boyhood home of Bill Clinton.
Really? Okay.
So it's on the map just because we had a president come from there, which is cool. But it was just normal to me. I went to elementary school at William Jefferson Clinton Primary School, and like that's just not that's not weird at all. And I never toured any of those things, and my dad was born and raised there, and he's never toured them. So if you live there, it's less significant, I guess.
How many kids are you graduating high school with?
Somewhere between 1 and 2, I think.
Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's a good size.
I was 5th in my class.
Wow!
Look out!
Look at you.
Yeah, I got to brag about that shit now because it's like.
Yeah.
My college degree matters not at all if I'm trying to do music for a living.
What's your degree, and where did you go?
I went to Henderson State University in Arkadelphia, Arkansas.
I know. I've stopped in Arkadelphia. I think you guys have there's a Loves in Arkadelphia, Arkansas.
There's one in Prescott.
One in Prescott. That's what it is.
Which is pretty close.
Because I remember I filled us up. I filled up the van in that part of Arkansas.
At the Loves, yeah,
so
man.
What was your major?
I got my bachelor's in mass media communication.
Okay, I could see that.
Well, it does kind of make sense, but I wanted to go to Belmont so bad, but it was so expensive, and I came and toured, and I was going to lose I was getting a ton of academic scholarships and state scholarships in Arkansas that I was going to lose if I went out of state.
Yeah.
So I thought radio would get me closest to music. And turns out radio has absolutely nothing to do with actual music. And
that was the world that I was in before I moved down here. I did radio up in Jersey, and that was like how I got my start. And it's just a grind on a grind on a grind.
And just
slaving away, not making any money.
Oh,
there's no money. What was it like? Was it like, were you like street teaming stuff? Were you doing on air shifts? Did they try to push you over to the dark side and go to sales?
So I kind of had to pick a focus, but I did still have to do like just normal journalism for the paper. We had to write a certain amount, for the paper every month. And then also had to do news segments on TV. So like the news desk kind of stuff, which I was horrible at.
What was like, do you remember like one that you were like, damn, this one actually turned out pretty good? And then you remember one that was like, oh shit, this was cringy? Because I used to write for the school newspaper and do all that shit too. And I look back at some of my articles, I'm like, whoa, I actually, like, that's pretty cringe.
I'm actually like, I'm a really good writer. I don't feel like I don't mean that cocky. I just mean like words are one of my only skills.
Yeah.
Like I have no athletic ability, like nothing like that. So I'm just good with manipulating words.
Yeah.
Hence the songwriting thing, I guess. So what I wrote was awesome, but as far as journalism, I hated harassing people. Like
the follow-ups.
And I would rather die than just be like, hello, ma'am, do you have time for a few questions about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? Like, it just feels so cringy.
Yeah,
Then having people come to you, I don't know. It was just, I hated it so much.
How did that feel comparing that to when you first moved to town or when you start co-writing, whether it be back in Arkansas or here? Was that a similar kind of thing, or was that more organic? You're meeting up with friends and you have like-minded people. Like, it's a little bit easier, I think, to be like, hey, we should write a song. Like, you're sitting there hanging out with someone, whether it's instead of like following up, be like, hey man, I really need this quote. Like, now I got to have this article out. I need this quote.
When you're a journalism major in school, you just harass every friend you have. It's like, hey, I wrote this quote. Is that okay if I put your name under it? That's what we did.
Yeah, I did that too.
So I wouldn't have to ask strangers.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Cindy from my sorority, you really love this new restaurant on campus, okay? You said the fries are your favorite. Is that cool? Give me a thumbs up. All right.
Now we got to go get a picture of you sitting in front of the plate of fries.
Like, meet me at lunch. I'll buy your fries. Help a girl out so I don't have to go talk to strangers. Thank you.
Yeah.
But the radio part of it was kind of the same. Like, I just felt like the creativity part of it was just not there. Like, it was a lot of like, I mean, me personally, I was like, okay, Henderson, it's 70 degrees outside. Here's Def Leppard. I had no idea what to say. So I think I would have more personality now, but that was a train wreck. But getting to town was definitely more organic, and I think it comes down to what you're passionate about. I didn't have my heart in the journalism or the radio or any of that, and my heart was in songwriting. Like, I want to learn, so I kind of felt more like I was building mentors.
Yeah. And
luckily, I just had a lot of people in town that were willing to teach me everything they knew, and I was so hungry to learn.
Yeah. How old were you when you moved here?
21.
21. Okay, so you came. So you did how many? So you did college, and then you just were like, what was there the decision where like, fuck this, I got to get to Nashville?
Honestly, that decision was made probably in like 5th grade. I came from a small town in Arkansas. The music scene was non-existent. Like, there was some stuff way up north, but I mean, Fayetteville, University of Arkansas, all of that is like 5.5 hours from my hometown.
Georgia's majestic, baby.
So yeah, we are not close to anything.
A haul. Yeah.
I had to sing on like hay rides and Opry's and like super small town classic country, like AM radio shows and stuff, which I'm so grateful for now. But at the time, it was like, I'm not going to go anywhere but this show every Saturday in Texarkana kind of thing. So if I was going to build a career out of it, which I had seen from Reba and Dolly and all of these women that I followed forever, like, I knew it could be done. And I've always just known I had a work ethic to fall back on, and that's where a lot of my belief in myself came from, was like, well, I'm going to just, die trying. I'm going to bust my ass, and I won't be the reason that it doesn't happen. It'll be because it wasn't supposed to or whatever. But I've gotten down a rabbit hole now of my passionate journey talk.
Well, hey, you mentioned Opry and AM show. You just announced something really cool recently about making your debut at the Grand. Now, to come from where you come from and to have had that as part of your story of doing kind of the small town regional versions of that, Now, to get the invite to do that with being the lover of country music that you are and all the work you've put in, first of all, congrats. It's fucking awesome.
Thank you so much.
What's it like thinking back to Baby Mae singing at the Texarkana Opry,
Oakland Opry,
that show to now you're going to be on, to be doing the real damn thing, singing your songs.
Yeah, that's a whole other level that I haven't actually thought about. Thanks, Matt. I'm about out of tears now. I'm not going to lie.
I'm sorry.
I might still have to take some medication the night of the show, so I'm not literally passing out from crying so hard. Yeah. But when I'm prepared for something that emotional, then I can like hold it together. But oh my gosh. So it's so funny. This is a cool story to share because I feel like we were talking before we started about S.J. McDonald and like a ton of killer artists who are busting their butts right now. And
who are your family? They're not just your friends. They're family.
Oh, they're family, but also the work ethic. And like I have been so blessed to finally start to have a team. So now someone books my songwriting calendar and helps me with all of that. And I have a manager who helps me with everything.
That's huge. Yeah.
It's huge, but it's like I know what it was like when I didn't have that, and I'm still working just as hard even with it. But I know how much hard work it takes. So that's what felt full circle about the Opry for me. I've been in town almost 8 years. When I first got to town, one of my first jobs was in the Opry shop at the Grand Ole Opry. So that's the retail store. It was the lowest hourly rate I've ever made. It was so not paying fairly. Yeah. Like $9. I don't know. It was something so small. But I worked there and managed the Victoria's Secret in Green Hills at the same time and wrote songs on top of that. So I was slammed. But I worked there probably, I don't know, it was less than a year, but I have a name tag that says Opry Mae that I've been holding on to because I knew I would end up on that stage if I was supposed to, and that I would have that name tag that I could wear and remind me of all of that hard work. And I worked at Tavern, which was a restaurant in Midtown for 4 years. Spent so much of my life in that building. Yeah. And I worked with a girl there. She was a hostess while I was a server, and she now works for Opry.
No way.
And so we got coffee just to catch up because we were like, oh my gosh, this is so silly. We've been, we need to do better. We've been wanting to see each other. And so we go catch up. I finally have enough like going on in my career that she's able to introduce me to the team, and then they love what I'm doing. And so I have my Opry intro where I just get to go play for the team and meet them. And then a week later, they asked me to play their holiday party. They have to do that after the holidays because they're so busy with shows and things. A lot of companies have to do that in Nashville. I don't know about elsewhere, but asked me to play their holiday party and asked me to bring Josh Matheny, who plays dobro with me and is my brother from way
incredible
back.
Musician too.
An unbelievable human, dude.
Yes, great guy.
The best hair. It's just not fair, really. But a goober and a half, so it evens out. Anyway, so we're playing this holiday party for all of the Opry staff at Nissan Stadium where they're having their like holiday party, and then I play like a 6-song set, and I'm like, thank y'all so much. This is so cool to get to play for you, and I hope to see you in the circle soon, and like just shooting my shot. Like I wrote him a thank you note that was like, I can't wait for the opportunity, but thank you so much for letting me play your party. Like genuinely did. A week after I met him, there's no way. I was so not expecting it. And then an MC comes up and he's like, I think Josh has something he wants to ask you. And I was like, what the hell? And yeah, Josh gives a little spiel bragging on me. And then he was like, wanted to know if you wanted to make your Opry debut on March 4th. And I only have one nephew. My younger sister has a son named Lincoln, and his first birthday is March 4th.
Wow.
So it's on his birthday, and I'm going to throw all kind of fits if they don't let me bring him on the stage to sing to him. I'm just kidding. I'm going to be like, absolutely, Mr. and Mrs. Opry. Yes, yes, of course, no problem. It's fine.
That is such a. It doesn't always happen. Like rarely happens like that, but that speaks to what you're doing creatively with your music and how you are as a person, I think. Because not everybody gets that opportunity, but that opportunity comes from you being you and then meeting you and being like, this girl exemplifies country music, especially to the traditional country music sound that you have, like in your style, and that whole crew around you kind of has. It's so cool to see that because it's been here in town. Like it hasn't gone away, but it's just like, for what the rest of the world has seen in the country landscape, it hasn't been at the forefront like it used to be. But it's still been here in town. You can go to Scoreboards. You can go to the Palace. You can go to the local. You can go to so many different bars in town. Bobby's Idol Hour. Great like ambassadors for that traditional country music, Western style songwriting, storytelling and songs. You have that in all of your songs. And it's so cool. And to me, it's like, to hear thinking about cheating, or to hear run, or to hear even a rockin' tune like hell you raised, like that kind of stuff just makes so much sense at the Opry, like with the traditional style instruments. It's gonna be so cool for you. I'm so dang happy for you,
dude. I can't even process it, and the whole state of Arkansas is coming to town for that. So it's gonna be interesting. I got my backstage list made, but we'll have to see how my family acts.
Yes.
The day of, we'll have to make that call.
Yeah. So
game time.
So we're already. I mean, that's a great start to 2023. Now, what you said, you've got somebody helping with booking your rights now, which takes a huge load off your plate. You've got somebody on the management side. You've got a team around you. How did all that start coming to be? Because you've been in town for 8 years. You've been busting your ass and putting out music and playing rounds and doing this and doing that. How does the team come into play? Like, what was that all like?
I think it's different for everybody, for sure. But I felt like all of mine came late, and I don't know, like, I mean, you look at Lainey. My mom called me yesterday on my drive home. We talk pretty much every day I'm driving out of town, and she was like, Lainey, did you know Lainey's been in town for 12 or 13 years? Yeah. I'm not sure what it was. And I was like, yeah. She's like, well, when did she get signed? And I was like, I think it's been, like about 3 years ago or so, at least 3 or 4. And Mom was shocked that, like, you don't hear of these artists even immediately when they're signed to a major label. So it's funny how much longer the journey takes. And when you're in the middle of it, it's so hard. Like, even hindsight doesn't help you. Like, sometimes I feel like I've been here 2 days, and sometimes I feel like I've been here 200 years. You know, do you feel that way about your time?
Yeah, I've been here. It's just over 4 years for me, but like, I feel like I've lived different lives since I've been here.
You do.
Like 4 years. Like, I started up working on Broadway. That was a chapter. I went out on the road with Muscadine. That was a chapter. I've been out on the road with Trey now. That's been a chapter. Doing the podcast. That's like different chapters within those years to make it feel like it's hard to try to remember what living in New York every day was like. Yeah. Like for you, 8 years here now,
Yeah, and it being so different from where I come from. Like, I'm sure it's really different for you, too. I can't speak because
it's becoming more and more like it, which is kind of frustrating. Like, it's getting closer and closer to where it's becoming a bigger and bigger city. Like, I'm out in Hermitage. That's where I live. So I like being out of town.
Me too.
Just enough outside of town. It's kind of close to the airport if I got to go somewhere. But everything, I only come into town to do stuff like this, to do my rounds at live, like do shit like that. Like, I don't come into town every day. If I don't have to come into town every day, that's pretty good. But you got to come in to network and whatever. But yeah, it is for you being here 8 years. You've seen it literally. That's what, 2015?
Yep.
Like, that is the height of when the changes really started happening. Because I got here
I was part of the problem.
No.
You get here and it's like my first 3 years here. It's like you are part of the problem. You cannot complain. And then I was like, I think year 4, I'm going to start claiming I'm a local. And I'm going to be like, no, I can hate tourists now.
To me, it's Nashville. Like, to me, you're the typical of what's been coming here for decades. You're coming here to pursue your musical dreams and aspirations, learn how to write songs, and you're a student of country music. That's who's been coming here for decades.
Yep.
Now, see, I'm still in like music, but me coming from New York and being outside of that, and like, there's just a lot more like commercial stuff, which you're going to have when places grow. And it's cool to see country grow commercially because more people give us like the fact that there's that C2C thing where there's artists. like even like mid-level artists, like not huge, not just superstars, going over to Europe and doing like full-on like weeks worth of country music in other countries. Like that's huge, you know? So there's something to be said for growing up like for it Nashville building up like that. But I don't like seeing as the place is closing, like Arnold's, like Hermitage Cafe. Hermitage Cafe going out, that hit me hard, being a former downtown employee.
I totally hear you. My first time to ever play in Nashville was an open mic night at Douglas Corner.
Yeah,
so
SJ brought me there a couple times.
It's pretty sad to see that go. I know there's like a cool vibey spot there now.
It's not the same though. It's different.
Yeah, it's so different. But I skipped over your team question. Sorry, I got us off
you're
track.
good. I get scattered too.
It is important, like, to share, I think, because, like I said, nobody's journey is different. But that's what I've done my whole time in Nashville is ask questions, and that's the best thing I could recommend for anybody.
So, which one did you meet first? The one helping you with the publishing, the one with the management?
Publishing was first for me. So I've been writing with Autumn McIntyre since I got to town. We've become great friends. She's a great mentor. She co-wrote Thinking About Cheating with me and a ton of others, Roses. And she signed with Plaid Flag Music.
Oh, great.
And it was a super small publishing company, but her having faith in them also, like, kind of took my trust. Like, I trusted them more from the beginning because she trusted them, because otherwise I have trust issues that will burn my whole career down probably, or I'm just like, I just met you. I'm sorry. We're going to have to spend at least a couple years together before I decide if I can trust you. And that's ridiculous. But anyway, so she introduced me to them. Essentially, she was turning in demos and I was singing all of our songs together. And they were like, okay, fine. Like, we need to meet this girl. And Kendall Warren and I hit it off. And then Stephanie Cox at Cobalt's our creative admin with Plaid Flag. So in 2020, November of 2020, I signed my first publishing deal with Plaid Flag Music. And
isn't it wild how great things come in such weird times? Like from the last half of 2020 for me was probably the best 6 months of my life so far. And for you to have signed, like, you got to figure the world's in shambles, but you're still working your ass off and writing songs, and a great blessing comes in such a weird time.
It was so funny because that's another thing. The Opry, Ask, like any of those things that I've dreamt of, they are never like you think they're going to be. And I'm not complaining about that, but it's like I didn't even put makeup on because I had to wear a mask, drove to my attorney's office, who I'd never even met in person, come in his office. I'm wearing a mask. He's wearing a mask. I sign a piece of paper. He's like, congratulations. I go get back in my car by myself, take my mask off, like take a selfie of me in this piece of paper. And that was my signing. And I was like, I have been working so hard for a publishing deal. And then we had to like take a social distancing picture outside.
Yeah.
And they cropped my face out of it. And it was like, it made me look like I was 300 pounds.
Oh, no.
And I had been hibernating in a log during COVID for the whole winter. And I was like, this is not what I have dreamt of. But I got over that quickly. But when you're in COVID, I was just like, everything sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, my dream, and I had just gotten laid off when COVID started. March 16th, I got laid off at Tavern. So, I mean, I was still in the restaurant industry, in the thick of it, and probably wouldn't have given that up. I would have kept trying to stretch myself thin just for the security. But COVID really was a blessing. It ripped me out of the restaurant industry, set me on my ass, made me dive into TikTok, which is now the I don't know, the source for a lot of massive things in my career.
Dude, yeah, it's like over 350K as of today. By the time this episode comes out, who knows where it's. All it takes is in one day it can shoot up by a ton.
It can, but it also, like, I've been pretty stagnant at 350 for a while. And now it's like, I don't know if I've been shadow banned, or I don't know the terms well enough to even speak intelligently on it, but I mean, I'll get like 2,000 views on most of my videos, and I have 350,000 followers.
Yeah, you were getting more views when you had like 10,000 followers.
So the engagement is just never consistent. So I gave up on trying to understand TikTok and just desperately chasing that, because I 1,000% did, and I think anybody who anyone who tells you they haven't had an unhealthy relationship with TikTok at some point that is like a big creator on there is lying. Is so lying, because it's very taxing on your mental health, because if you have something pop off, then you expect yourself to create content that's going to pop off, and you have no control over that. The algorithm shows it to who they want to. It's not about if it's great content or not. You have to learn that. And so I definitely went through my journey of that, but now I use it like every other platform. It's one more tool in your belt.
Yep.
And if every artist could see that and tweak it to them. Like I have we were talking about traditional country being commercial. Like I think that's the problem, is it hasn't been commercialized in the last little bit, because most of my favorite artists are terrible on social.
Yeah.
And not just that they're terrible, they're scared of them and they don't feel comfortable doing them.
Yeah. Like we were talking about this. We had Grady Smith on not too long ago.
I love Grady.
Grady's a great dude.
He is.
And one of the things we talked about, we were like, he brought it up. He was saying he's been trying to get Brad Paisley and his team to do more on TikTok. Like Brad Paisley is like a personality. Like you think of those like the music videos that we watched as kids and the artists of the 90s and 2000s that had those personalities. There's no reason you can't just show those on there. But I get at the same time it's a new thing and they don't understand it.
But they're not getting creative with that process like you should everything.
Yeah, but the creativity's there. It's like they could totally put it in there.
But they're like only looking at the trends. And I think in artist defense that a lot of the music business people are only looking at the trends, because algorithmically, I get it. Like that's your best success for viral content. But if you want people to buy into you, as specifically in the music industry, that's like I could be a lot closer to 1 million, and not because I'm good or cocky or any of that, because I know after this much time and research on the platform, I think I know what builds your followers if that's your goal. I don't want to build my followers as my number one goal. Like everyone that followed me saw me sing on that platform.
You want to build your music fans.
I want you to buy into my music, and I want you to see a video on TikTok, and I don't care if you hit follow on TikTok. I want you to go follow me on Spotify or go buy my song. So it depends what goals you have, and like what you're trying to promote.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, best song, the song wins. Without the song, we have nothing.
That's true. It is a super frustrating phrase if you're, I don't know if it's just a singer-songwriter.
I know publishers say it all the time, or a lot of like staff writers at places will be like, best songs gotta win, best, like for their outside cuts and stuff.
But there are definitely like artists who break that don't have the songs.
Yeah.
So how is it like a longevity thing, you think?
It could be like a longevity thing, or finding the song that fits that person.
Because we have really shitty songs out there.
Like
really,
overall, like in
country
in
music,
like simple,
just not real.
Yeah.
Not even like judging them, like, because I'm not one of those that's like, that's not country. I don't care about genres.
Country can be whatever the hell you want it to be.
Absolutely,
and this whole genreless thing is kind of really cool right now, because we're seeing guys like Hardy bring in like the 2000s rock stuff to.
And who cares
country.
if it's real and authentic and somebody connects with it? There's a place for it. And I totally believe that.
Amen.
I don't know. Nashville's a whole other beast, though.
It is wild, and for you to have been in town as long as you have, you've seen like the up and down swells, and you've seen what it's like to be at the bottom and start playing rounds. Like, what advice would you give to someone just moving to town now? Because it's different than when you and I moved to town. Yeah,
I mean, I'm such like a skeptic to begin with, so I'm just the kind of person who has always prepared for the worst and been like surprised if it went well, but I'd never expect anything to go well. So I definitely don't recommend having that attitude, because it makes it really hard to celebrate good things, and you have to. From the second you get here, your journey starts. And I think I had to have like my first song out to call it like when my career started.
But your first round, your first write, your first gig in town, your first demo that you get back.
But the move here, dude, like.
And the move here is such a big thing. That's the hardest part, is getting here.
Was so hard, and I finally.
What was so hard about it for you?
Money, resources. I came from a small town in Arkansas, it's 7.5 hours from here, and everyone in my family lives within a hour radius of there. Everyone. It's all I'd ever known. I went to school 50 miles north of there, and that's all I'd ever seen. Barely been out of the state. And knew nothing about Nashville, knew nobody in Nashville. My grandpa was in a bluegrass band with Josh Matheny's mama, and that's how our families knew each other well, but I didn't know Josh. I was in first grade when he moved to Nashville. And so anyways, it was just like nobody leaves my hometown. It was insane to move that far away.
Yeah.
And then it cost so much money. So I went to college and worked full-time on top of going to school, and graduated in 3 years instead of 4 because I could not stand it. I wanted to get to Nashville, and I just prepared myself for the worst and worked my ass off. That's one thing, like, if you have that drive and that work ethic, that is one thing that nobody can ever take away from you. Yeah. And that is what, like, has held me together in this town, is knowing that if I show up, that's all I'm responsible for, and then those opportunities just kind of come. But I also was really blessed to have people around me, so I'll reiterate what everyone told me, like, it is a people town, absolutely. And they call it networking, which gives it like an ugly, annoying feel to me, but it's making friends.
Yeah.
Is exactly what it is, because in my experience, I haven't had a lot of people who I just kind of connected with on a professional level because they could do things for me or I could do things for them. Like, I have genuine friendships in my professional relationships.
Who were some of those first friends? Like, you moved to town. Who was like one of your first friends, and how do you ever meet him? Aside from Josh, because like Josh is the hometown connection.
Definitely a number one. Marty Dodson, I met on a riding retreat. The girl.
Yeah.
So she's one of my best friends. Autumn McIntyre. Definitely, but just one of my first friends was Andrew Beeson.
Oh, no shit.
Who is an incredible singer, songwriter, producer, and just a great friend, because he actually trained me when I started working at the Opry shop.
Oh, really?
And instead
of cool.
He gave me like a tour and a little rundown of what my job was going to be, and then he was like, "So you play music?" And then we went in the office and just passed a guitar back and forth and just playing songs for each other, and then we've been in each other's corner ever since. And so he's going to be at the Opry debut, and it's going to be so special to share that with him. But yeah, one of my very first friends was Andrew Beeson.
That's awesome. So you got the Opry debut coming up. You just did the big Whiskey Jam takeover.
Yes.
And you've got coming out the week that we're dropping this episode. You've got an EP coming out.
Yes.
So talk about that, the name of the EP, what you got going on with that. And congrats. I know how big it is to get out a project, like all the work that goes into it, especially now having a team with it.
Yep.
There's ways you look at it and talk about it now that you don't even like think about doing, like the marketing of it, the this, the that, the back and forth on the cover art, the mixes, all the shit. Yeah. When you have the team that you don't even think about when you're an independent, because it's, you know, think about it. There's nobody else going through it with you.
Yeah.
So what's the EP called, and what's it all been like?
So the EP's called Before the Record.
I like that. It gets me excited for what could be coming in the future.
I was about to say, that's what it's all about. Was kind of, I think I'm kind of in a pivotal point in my career where I'm about to have a lot of opportunities that are going to help with exposure of my songs, which is my ultimate goal, is to get whatever these stories are I feel compelled to tell to the people that were supposed to hear them. And so that requires the biggest platforms possible, you know? So I kind of feel like I'm on one side of my Nashville journey and about to cross over to a new chapter in a cool way.
Let's go.
So Before the Record's kind of like when I'm still, you know, screaming my name from the rooftops and nobody knows who the hell I am. And then now I'm going around and people know who I am some, and that's a weird feeling. I think everyone in this town kind of hits that point where it's like, oh, now you hear me screaming, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, so reflecting that time so I don't forget what it feels like right now, and I'm still able to celebrate that first record when we get that going, because I've got all the songs, man. I have so many songs I've been sitting on.
Yeah.
But it is such a big deal, so thanks for saying that, because I think that's something just a general country music audience has no idea the process behind it, because I sure didn't until I got here and got in the middle of it. But it is so much work. So this is my first project in almost 8 years in town, and I've been singing since I was 7 years old. So it's a big, big accomplishment. And my Uncle Billy back in Arkansas bought my first CD for me about 15 years ago, handed me a 20 and was like, this is for your first CD. So 15 years later, I cannot wait. We're printing CDs the first time with my EP, and I can't wait to give him his CD that he bought so long ago. So things like that come with a project, that's going to be awesome. But my team right now, I say team because they work so hard with me and for me, and I have crazy champions. But I have publishing with Plaid Flag Music, and then Kendall Warren, who is part owner in that company, is now my manager also.
That's a big deal. That's huge.
So it is huge. So she has never managed before, but we really hit it off.
But you've also never had a manager before, and I feel like that's a big thing, is you guys are learning and coming through it together, which a lot of people are like, I got to work with so-and-so. It's nothing against the big management companies and big, great managers that there are in town, but there's something to be said for an artist that's taking steps they've never taken before with a guy or a girl who believes in them and wants to take those steps as well, and you guys grow together.
Absolutely.
That could be so special.
And she graduated from Belmont. She's been massive in all of the entrepreneur groups in Nashville. She has a massive network of business people to my massive network of creatives in town that I've met. So we kind of are just a dynamic duo. She works her ass off, so hardworking, and she's just a great human. Like, literally anyone I've had a meeting with or met her, like, that's the first thing they tell me is like, we love Kendall so much. And then she's on the golf course with them next week because she's a badass athlete all around. But yeah, so it's so cool. We kind of are just keeping it in the family right now. So that's all I have on my official team. And Stephanie Cox is just a godsend. I mean, she is a massive piece of country music to me. The songs she's gotten cut and the writers she signed and developed their careers, before they even got started with the label and things like that. And so she was heavily involved with Hardy's career and Kaylee Hammock. And I mean, those are artists I respect immensely. So I can't believe I'm, getting to work with someone who worked with those people. But yeah, it's been amazing. But other than that, I kind of have stayed indie. So I'm an ultimate control freak because I do all of my own website design, marketing, merch, shipping.
But it's one, because you might be a control freak, but it's two, you give a shit. You give a shit about the detail. You give a shit about the details, and you want your fans to have the best version and the most authentic version of Mae Estes that they can have. And by you having some say in that, some control in that, you get to keep that.
Yeah.
It's a big thing.
And it is like, I wouldn't say I'm great at design or anything by any means, but it is another creative outlet.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just like when you're creating music, like it's just fun to, it's just another kind of art for me. And marketing in general just feels like connecting with people. So I think that whole like journalism world, I loved creating like segments or ideas for stories or things like that. Like I loved the creative aspect of it. I just didn't want to go harass people afterwards. So I still love coming up with like social concepts. And I find myself lately, like, we were talking about our guys, Old Hickory, the trio of Dan Alley, Timothy Baker, and Andy Austin. Go follow him on socials.
You definitely should. Shout out. Andy Austin was like episode 6 or 7 of this podcast when we were recording it in a basement at my buddy Tyler, who I used to do this with. We used to do it in his basement with the 2 cats that his roommate had. He had 2 cats.
I love a cat.
He had 2 of them. They were both, one was a fat orange cat, one was a fat black and white cat.
I'm not coming back here unless you get cats.
Podcats. I don't know. I mean, I think we might have to work that out there.
Or I'm bringing my cat.
Yeah, but the 2 cats, they were named Felix and Cake. And we called them the Podcats. And sometimes we'd be doing our episodes. Like I have pictures. I think I have a picture of, I forget if it was SJ or Carly Rogers. One of the episodes, the cat is like climbing on their back while we're doing the interview. Like they were friendly cats. They're the cats that one of them would sit in my lap while I would record the episode. We didn't have video back then, but I'd be sitting like the Godfather, like Don Corleone, just petting the cat while I'm like, so how did you get to town? And I'm just sitting there petting this fat
you're doing
cat.
it wrong without your cat. Where the hell are your cats?
They're not my cats.
You got to get some then, or borrow those for the podcast.
I mean, I feel like dude, like we could totally put a litter box like in the bathroom.
I think you got to get
Podcats.
I think you need like a fur coat and a cat in your lap Like, we could vibe this out a little more.
A fur coat?
You're too swaggy to not have a fur coat on and a cat in your lap.
Dude, I mean...
And some gold chains of some sort.
That's like... I credit a lot of my, like, my recent jumping into doing the style thing. Because I used to shave my head all the time. Like, I had, like, a buzz cut. Now I have this curly hair. My mom was like, you got to have the curly hair. Curly hair is going to be great.
Curly hair.
Everybody
I
does.
Seen it.
I never wanted to. I always wanted to, like... I never, like, gave a shit about, like, style and this and that. Then I met Nikki T from Raised Rowdy. And Nikki T, like, ordered me a matching velour tracksuit.
Yes.
He was like, just like, I didn't own a pair of Jordans. Now I got fucking Nikes. I didn't have any of that shit.
You look clean.
So, but the fur coat with like, not like a hat, like a lid.
We'll get you. Yeah, we'll get you there. I mean, I get it. If we're starting slow, I totally get it.
Petting a cat.
But the cat.
McElwain he likes the Mancoon cats. The
Maine those Coons. Are pretty.
He wants one of those big boy cats. I don't know if I could do that because that's like the size of the couch.
All I'm saying is you better rescue that cat.
It's got to be a rescue. Oh yeah,
I'm one of those.
I'm a rescue person. I'm a rescue
I feel
animal.
so strongly about it. I turn into a Karen very quickly about rescuing animals.
Yeah, so
this town has so many people.
So how many animals do you have?
I just have one cat.
Just have one cat.
I have had her for 16 years. She's 16.
Wow.
So I will be unwell when she dies, which is never.
So she made the move to Nashville with you.
So I was here for like 3 to 6 months. I can't remember without her, just to kind of get settled because I was also working so many jobs.
Yeah.
But then my parents brought her up, and she's been here ever since. And I have had some super lonely nights in this town. Just hold my cat. So she held me together. And
what's her name?
Gracie. Yeah. So it's gonna be super rough, but she's a raging bitch.
Oh, is she?
She hates me.
We love a cat with personality.
Oh my God, she's aggressive, but I would let her bite my hand off, and I would tell her I'm sorry for whatever I did. I'm sure I deserved that.
What level of aggressive? Like pain in the ass aggressive, or like you got a cup of coffee sitting on the counter and she'll go up and knock it off, or like
lazy aggressive for
lazy
sure.
Aggressive.
But I try to love her, and then she will literally like the puncture wounds from. Look, I have a scratch on my hand as proof. I probably got more. It's pretty sad. I'm like an old lady, like.
And she's like an old cat, and she's still got that in her.
She's ancient. Yeah, 16 for
what kind
a cat.
Of cat? What breed of cat? Do you know? Or is it just a rescue cat?
I rescued her off the street. She ran in front of a school bus outside my mom's work one day, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not putting you back down." She was just a street like kitten. So just short haired. I don't know.
Just a cat. What color?
She's just a cat. She's like brown and black.
Okay.
I'll have to show you a picture.
Yeah.
Kind of tiger striped-ish.
Okay.
I
had Siamese cats growing up. Like they were like my brother and sister had. Yeah. My sister used to sing that all the time. But we had these two cats, and they were named. And one of the names was Coco. It was two boys, Coco, and then the other one's name, which is funny because it was my aunt. My aunt had a cat that was named this. So my sister was like, "We got to name this cat this." They named the fucking cat Sambuca. Like the liquor.
Baby.
Sambuca, like the liquor. Like
that's a Siamese cat name if I've ever heard
so
it. I support that.
Coco and Buca were the two cats.
The first cat I named was Tater.
That is Arkansas.
That's
epic. Tell me you're from Arkansas without telling me you're from Arkansas. Here's my cat, Tater.
You want to pet my Tater?
You want to pet my cat, Tater? That's awesome.
Yeah, well.
I like cats. Cats get a bad rep. A lot of my buddies are like, dude, fuck cats. I'm like, dude, I like cats. I got nothing against them.
They are assholes, but like, I would much rather you be real with me than be a dog and just be like happy to see me all the time.
I don't have anything against.
I don't have anything against dogs, but I keep my friend's dog sometimes, and that like wake me up at 5 a.m. because you got to go outside. Shit is not for me.
That
dog.
breathing in your face, climbing on you.
It's a no from me, dog. Like
What kind of dog is it?
They're always like labs, or these are like Australian shepherds.
Oh,
I love them.
They're cute, beautiful little dogs, but they have so much energy.
Dogs in general, though, like they're like children. Cats are so self-reliant and like independent. It's just like clean their litter box, and then I have an automatic food and water like thing that just stays.
Does Gracie get crazy on the catnip?
Oh, hell yeah.
She's a big catnip girl.
That's yeah. Me and my husband enjoy our catnip while she enjoys hers, and it's a good little party.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, she goes crazy. But she's overweight. She's pretty overweight.
But that comes with old age.
Well, she's old. I'm not gonna like try to put her on a diet now. That's just rude. So she is pretty lazy.
How many pounds are we talking?
I think she's 13.
13 pounds. Okay, that's not like terrible.
Well, she's a pretty small body cat.
Oh, so she's
It's
like wide.
I mean, her tummy swings when she walks.
Waddle. She's got some waddle in her walk.
Yeah, it's too far gone. But she's floofy.
We're floofy.
She's floofy, and I'm just trying to keep her comfortable and alive for forever.
Well, how long do you think? No, again, not to bring it up. What, do you think you'll get another one? Right? You think?
I don't know. I can't. I mean,
tough.
I won't ever need to because she's not dying.
She's gonna live forever.
I told my husband to just go ahead and get her stuffed and put her on the back of the couch where she likes to sleep. And
do you guys have other?
That'll hold us over for a few months.
Now your husband. You've got a song that talks about him, right?
Yes.
Like a love song.
That is the one song on my EP that I didn't write. It's called Your Hands.
Yeah.
And Autumn McIntyre, Marty Dodson, and Matthew Morrissey got together on a retreat. We kind of did an artist retreat for me and wrote my love story. So everything in it is to a T factual. But it was so weird to like have somebody pretty much read your diary to you that you've never written down. And that's what it felt like when they played me that song. But yeah, it felt good to finally honor my husband, who's an incredible man and literally holds me together and is like the best partner in this thing.
Yeah, how important is it to have a supporting partner like that? Because I feel like this world, this life that we live in, this music thing, can tear you apart. And us as touring people, like me and McElwain, been touring guys for a while, and like you're getting that stuff that's gonna happen where you're gonna be out there and
you're gonna have to give me some tips.
We can work. We'd be happy to do that. We've seen and done it all at this point, right, Sweet Boy? But it takes a special man or woman to be with someone, especially an artist, because there are those up and down roller coasters. Like, how important has it been to have him in your life?
Well, I definitely did not picture myself getting to do this career and be married. Like, genuinely, I come from just a family of ridiculous amounts of divorce. Like, it's just funny at this point where you're just like, okay, marriage is a joke. It's a piece of paper, and anybody can go get it and claim forever. Like, it's all just bullshit. It was kind of how I had that attitude. And then I definitely just was like, I can't commit. Because when I do something, I do it all in, clearly. And so I was like, I can't do what I want to with my career and dedicate myself to my craft and give someone what they deserve of me in a relationship.
Yeah.
Like a marriage. And my husband and I actually dated in college, just very laid back kind of dating. And then we reconnected like 4 years after that, after I'd lived in Nashville for almost 2 years. And he was like, I'm moving to Nashville to see if this is going to work. And I was like, don't do that. Don't do that. And he got on Craigslist, found roommates, and then was just here and would not go away. I was like, I'm going to scare you off. Like, boo boy, you're not signed up for this. Like, you going to get tired. You might as well stop wasting all our time. I'm a pain in the ass. This is not what you want. And dude is still here. So it was really special, but I definitely was like, there's no way I can make this work. And now I could not do it without him. I don't think it has to be a romantic partner. That's like, so I don't recommend people like feeling like they need to go get in a relationship when they're on a journey this hard, but you have to find your person or your people in general. And that comes with that like networking crew too, because I have things, and that's like I think that's something I'm learning about a healthy marriage. Anyways, I'm by no means speaking on marriage like I have a clue what I'm doing. Yeah. But that's part of it, is getting what you need from different people. So like I have certain girlfriends that I can have conversations with that make more sense than me trying to talk to my husband about that. And he can have conversations with his friends that make more sense than trying to talk to me. And
That's healthy.
and then I have musician friends, whether those are guys or girls. And he's just honestly the most secure man in the world. We don't have any jealousy. I'm pretty blunt.
Yeah.
As far as my cheating song, it's like, I'm not going to cheat on you. I would sit down and tell you I'm thinking about cheating on you. That's where that whole idea came from, was me genuinely saying that to my husband. So it's very specific to everybody's personalities and everything. And I know we're in for it once I start actually hitting the road. And hopefully he's able to come out with me quite a bit. We're just taking it a day at a time. But
what does he do for work and stuff?
he's a mechanic.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he works for a nursery in town right now. So that's fixing all kind of big equipment down to weed eaters. But he got to work at Alan Jackson's place.
Oh, really?
Last month. So it was kind of cool that both of our worlds kind of collided. I was like, "Did you slide Alan my mixtape, or what are you doing, homie?"
That's awesome.
Go down that whole road and just throw them in the mailboxes, because I'm sure it's
There's somebody
everybody
else there.
famous right there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. So a couple quick Nashville questions.
Yeah.
Favorite or what do you think is like the most underrated bar or spot in town? Like a spot where you're like, why don't more people?
My favorite, these are not kind of underrated. My favorite spots in Nashville are definitely Scoreboard and the Palace.
To me, those are like when people talk about Nashville and they talk about Broadway and Tin Roof and Winners and Losers and Red Door and even Live Oak. As much as I love you, Live Oak, people kind of overlook that Music Valley section.
That would make sense.
Because I love Scoreboard. Some of the best food in town is at Scoreboard.
A massive menu, and they do like all of those shrimp bowls and crawfish bowls and stuff in the summer, and it's a vibe, dude. Like, you can go inside for the like restaurant part if you want. I saw they got new bathrooms.
Yeah, they've upgraded.
Come on, because those bathrooms were horrible.
Yeah.
They know it. That's why there's new ones. But I went in those the other day. I was like, okay. But yeah, I guess if those are underrated, I think so much of my favorite talent lives there, and I think I really love the local as a venue. Something I think is crazy underrated in this town, just because people don't understand the history, maybe. The Station Inn, baby.
Yes, I've still never been there, and I've been in town for 4 years, and I work in music.
Well, I'm playing my first headlining show next month, so
Really?
you better come.
Okay, is that?
It's pretty small in there, but
Well, let's fucking pack it out. And everybody watching that's in Nashville, Sweet Boy, we're gonna go. We're gonna mark it on the calendar. We're in town. We'll be there.
March 21st, baby. It's a Tuesday.
March 21st. It's a Tuesday. Yeah, that's opposite.
The next night after Steel Panther.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're going. You like Steel Panther? You like Steel Panther?
I don't know Steel Panther.
You don't know Steel Panther?
Sorry, bro. I listened to George Jones on my way here, and I'll probably listen to Patty Loveless on the way home.
So Steel Panther is, well, first of all, plug the show. So May 21st, or March 21st.
March 21st, Station Inn. So it's going to be a lot of bluegrass. I have a bluegrass background, so we're going to mix some of my stuff up, make it bluegrass, and then just do bluegrass classics. It's going to be awesome.
But to me, that's the Station Inn vibe, right?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
more that bluegrass traditional.
But it'll be a nice, like, dip your toe if you're not a bluegrass fan, because I'll be playing with a banjo and upright bass, dobro. We'll be having crazy harmonies, but I'll be playing some of my stuff too.
Mark the calendar, McAway. March 21st, we're at the Station Inn,
Yes.
partying with Mae Estes and all the bluegrass folks. But Steel Panther, it's like, like Wheeler Walker Jr. is the country music, where it's like kind of wild, but like still but it sounds sonically like country music, like 90s country. Steel Panther's like that, but for 80s hair metal.
Okay.
But on like a bigger kind
Like
of
dirty?
like we'll play you some songs off there. They have some funny stuff, but they'll play like those big rock festivals with like 100,000 people in like Europe. Like they're on that level.
Europe
they look like
amazing.
and they look like Guns. Like all the guys are like wearing the make. They look like they're like Guns N' Roses, like that era. But they're singing songs like the titles are. We'll tell you off the mic. The titles are pretty wild, but
I love that era. Like, is that still like Def Leppard, Journey?
Yeah, like that
era?
that kind of music, and like they're great musicians. Like they're legit musicians, but it's like a bit.
So like Hot Country Nights, but dirtier.
Hot Country Nights, dirtier, 80s hair metal.
I like it.
So
I'm intrigued.
You said that's the night before.
You don't
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
feel or look good, but you have to be at the Station Inn.
Yeah, well,
y'all can come in with your hoods and your glasses on.
Oh, he'll be hungry. I'll be fine. I haven't done the hangover thing in a while.
Yeah.
I'm good on that, but but that'll be a fun back to back. So the Station Inn, underrated place. Favorite Mexican restaurant in town because there's so fucking many of them. Or out of town a little bit if it's like.
Yeah, there's a drive-through taco place closer to my house called California Tacos, I think, or something like that.
Okay.
I think it's a little local place. It could not be,
Yeah.
but it's just a little hut, and it's great street tacos.
And you said you're out near Hendersonville.
That's in
right?
Hendersonville, yeah.
Okay.
I think it's called California
Got to give a
Tacos.
shout out to our buddy Trey Bonner. You know Trey Bonner at all, or not really?
I feel like I know the name,
Little dude, mustache.
Okay.
Usually got a camera in his hand.
I love it.
He's one of our good buddies. He's been living in Hendersonville like the last 4 or 5 years, and he's just loves talking about how much he loves Hendersonville and how proud he is. Like the parks you have out there.
Oh, we do have great parks.
You don't have to come into town unless it's for like music stuff. Like everything you could ever want, need. Good food, things to do, good people, nice people.
Oh yeah.
Everything, all walks of life in Hendersonville, Tennessee.
It's amazing, but we're just renting a house, so we've been there for 4 years just renting. So we definitely are we have hopes of buying some damn piece of property at some point because holy crap, it's so hard here.
Yeah.
And we're just trying to can we have 5 acres that don't have neighbors up our ass?
Yeah,
and
you need a little bit of land.
We'll put a damn tiny house or a single wide on it and be happy as a clam. But it's so hard.
Yeah.
So anyways, for now, renting, we've been there for 4 years. We're close to the lake, which kind of sucks if you don't have a boat, but just kind of chaps your ass to just be like, all right, y'all, I'll be here in my lawn chair. Y'all just let me know if you need, I'll bring beer if anyone wants to let me be on their boat. But no, it is, all of the retail and everything is pretty new. Like it's a newly developed city. So there's a Target, a Walmart. I'm not used to all that shit either, being from a small town, and even I lived in East my first 4 here.
That's culture shock.
Oh, you telling me, buddy?
That is as much culture shock as possible.
Having my mail stolen off my porch. It was like, what? This is ridiculous. But yeah, and there was not a lot in East. Now there's that nice Publix, but in actual East itself, there was not.
And that was before the gentrification of East. Uh-huh. So that was a different
it was
world.
A ghetto dollar store, Dollar General, close to my house when I first got here, that when you walk in, it's like, ding, 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 you're being monitored for your security. There's cameras and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, okay.
So it's like where I went to college in Jersey was right outside of Trenton, New Jersey, which is a pretty rough area. One of the stores we'd sneak into because they wouldn't even ID you. You could just go, I never had a fake. I just be bold and go in there.
Oh, I was way too chicken to ever even have a fake.
They didn't sell beer by the case or the 6-pack. They only sold it by the 40 ounce. Ooh. So we used to just buy Bud Ice, Bud Heavy, Colt 45.
Yes,
just
sir.
Nasty shit. So yeah, those good old liquor stores playing Edward 40 hands, throwing a bottle through a TV. You ever do that? You ever play Edward 40 hands? You know what Edward 40 hands is?
No.
You ever play Edward 40 hands? No? It's like when you're drinking and you got to tape the 40s to your hand and they're stuck on there until you finish them. You didn't play that? That's like a common college game. You never played Edward 40? Yeah, you tape the 40 ounces and you don't have, it's your hands and you got to drink them. Must be a northern thing. Must be a northern degenerate thing.
Well, I think in Arkansas we're just ready to get drunk, so it's you don't have to tape them to our hands. We've already had 4 whiskey drinks on the drive-in, and we're good to go. I don't know. Maybe they play that. We were mostly just beer pong, lots of Ring of Fire.
Yeah.
Anything to have people take their clothes off or do something stupid. Run around the neighborhood in your underwear.
Yeah, woo pig. Right
we've
there.
all dabbled.
Yeah.
Woo pig.
What's something that you would want to, looking back, you'd tell yourself 8 years ago? Baby Mae leaving Arkansas, coming up here. You're one of those early scared nights. You're in East Nashville, and you look back you could go and tell a young Mae Estes.
I think I would like to remind myself to slow down. I feel like a lot of my time here has been just head down, digging against that wall that you're just constantly working at till you strike gold. And I think my first 4 years working, I mean, hell, I worked in, and I'm not trying to like, I worked so hard, but I worked an 8 a.m. admin job till 12. I would get off at 12, go write a song from 12:30-ish till 4, go in for my job, serving at 5, close it down about 2 a.m., and then do that all again. So much of that was a blur.
Yeah.
And I wish I would have slowed down and been able to actually like take in some of the things that I didn't realize would be so special looking back at them now.
Yeah.
But mostly I've no regrets in my journey. I'm really proud of everything that I've done so far. I'm proud of who I am and feel like I, have hopefully been kind and respectful to everybody I've met along the way. And mostly just really, really grateful to be a part of country music.
Amen. That's awesome. Well, I'm proud to call you a friend and proud to have you here today and super stoked for everything that you've got coming. Where can people go to find you on all the socials and whatnot?
Yeah. MaeEstes.com will get you there. MaeEstes.com. And then Mae Estes on all socials too. But, yeah, been really working on that YouTube, so y'all go check out some of the videos there. We just filmed some content with Emma Golden, who's a badass videographer.
Awesome.
Shot some stuff with Marissa Taylor, who's
she's great too.
A queen.
Yep.
And so we got a lot of fun stuff coming there, and EP's out on February 16th. So go check it out. And then we've got some live one-take versions of that coming out too.
Let's go.
So lots and lots of fun stuff coming. But I'm such a fan of you. Thank you so much for having me in the Round podcast fam. And
hey, of course, you're a longtime friend, and we've had you play in the rounds a bunch, and would love to have you come back and play one soon with some of the fam, whether it be SJ or
Ask Whiskey Jam. I can book a bill of some talent, boy.
For sure. We'd love to have you come back and play that anytime, and super stoked. Well, guys, be sure to check out our good friend Mae Estes, the debut EP, the first big project coming out February 16th before the record. That drops February 16th, and then she's also playing a place called the Grand Ole Opry. Y'all may have heard of a time or two, on March the 4th, and then she has coming up on March 21st.
Yes, sir.
I nailed all of them. Let's go.
You did.
March 21st, playing at the Station Inn, full band with a lot of her bluegrass friends. Y'all be sure to get tickets to go and see Mae play here in town, and be sure to pre-order. Don't just pre-save. Pre-saving, it's cool. Pre-order the thing, because her and the writers make more money off of it. It's really showing your support and love if you get on Google Play, Apple iTunes, all that stuff, and buy the heck out of the EP. We're certainly doing that here at In the Round. But for Mae Estes, for our boy Matt McElwain, and for our sponsors, quick shout out Whale Tail Media, Saxman Studios, our friends at Pickle Jar, and of course our boy Mitch Wallace with The Digital Marketing Agency. This has been the In the Round podcast. If you guys enjoyed the episode, tell your mama and them. Like I said, go check out our girl Mae Estes, and be sure to like, rate, subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time. This has been the In the Round podcast.